Ontario, Maclean Hunter Cable TV, and TVOntario present the 1986 Ontario Summer Games.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to Peterborough, Ontario. We are here for our second day of TV coverage of the 1986 Ontario Summer Games. We've had a great time, and today we will be with you until 5 o'clock this afternoon. The games wind up today. We are going to be seeing a lot of great action. The finals, the gold medals will all be decided for today. I'm J. Marie Jones.
And I'm Elaine LaChapelle. We have 15 sports that we're covering for you throughout the summer games, so it's going to be a real busy day for us. I thought it might be best to start this morning by updating you on some of the standings as of yesterday. A lot of the games were played. In fact, some medals were actually awarded yesterday. So let's take a look at some of those standings. In basketball, the Nepean-Kingston-Belleville team defeated the northern team of Sault Ste. Marie and Sudbury. That's in boys basketball. They have their finals today. Central Brampton-Hamilton defeated the Southwestern region, a score of 83-81. We have found a lot of really tight games. These teams are very close. Toronto area defeated the Nepean-Kingston-Belleville team, score of 89-72. We'll have full standings for you at the end of this report. Brampton-Hamilton defeated Sault Ste. Marie-Sudbury, a score of 95-88. It's in boys basketball. And the Toronto area defeated Kitchener-Guelph, a score of 98-68. Toronto's doing very well. And today, as I said, this morning we have the bronze medal match against Central and Southwest. That's this morning. We'll hopefully give you some of that action live. This afternoon, the gold game, boys basketball between Central East and the Eastern team. And we'll be bringing you as much live action of these final games as we can.
Well, as we said, most of the sports have to wrap up today, of course. As Elaine said, the basketball finals will be going. The men's field hockey, that game is going on right now over at Beavermead Park. And as we continue here in our coverage, we will be going to the various locations as often as we can, hopefully to keep you updated on these final scores. The games have just gone over terrifically, Elaine. I mean, it's just been so exciting. The athletes are having a great time. We were downtown last night kind of soaking up the atmosphere, and it's terrific.
I'm glad you said we were soaking up the atmosphere and nothing else. I'll tell you, I was in the locker room this morning, and the teams are really psyched. They're convincing themselves they're going to win. They go in there as high as they can possibly be. I don't know what they were up to last night, but they're no less energy than they had yesterday, so it should be some exciting action for us today.
Okay, well, talking about action, let's start seeing some action here at the Ontario Summer Games. You're watching Maclean Hunter Cable Television's coverage of the 86 Ontario Summer Games right here on TVOntario. And wherever you are in Ontario right now watching the games, we certainly thank you for joining us and hope you'll stay with us this afternoon. Right now, baseball is going to be the sport. We're going to have a look at some of the action from yesterday. Gail Gortmaker is standing by.
Corey Kavanagh is our first pitcher, first batter.
Streetsville.
Wrong one. Corey Kavanagh is our first batter for Peterborough.
Third base.
That's what the summer games are all about. Fun.
Now playing first base, number 62, Steve Monroe.
Camaraderie between the teams is really excellent.
I think Streetsville have made a few defensive changes, and that's quite common in the game like this, where they'll put their best defensive players out to preserve their lead. Now there's an example of something that we mentioned earlier that they shouldn't be doing, is going after the first pitch, particularly being down 600. It's important for the guy to go up and make the pitcher throw straight. And
be selective.
Be selective.
With one out, the batter is the catcher, number 8, Greg Hickey.
It's so easy to become anxious at this point in time, though.
Yes, it is, but I think it's important that you put the pressure on the pitcher and not on yourself. And so if the pitcher knows that you're just going to take pitches until he throws you a strike, it's funny how it's all the harder to get a strike in those cases.
Anything keep it up here? Going smoothly? Just let it drop in.
Hickey is up to bat. 1 out. 3 strikes. He's not impressed.
So 2 out. It's down to 1 out here for Peterborough to continue in the 1986 Ontario Summer Games Midget Baseball Tournament.
Streetsville hits where after this?
They would advance to the next round. I'm not quite sure at this point who they would play. In fact, that may be determined by the next game. But Peterborough, having lost their first game, will be eliminated from further competition.
Which is a shame, because if any team generated a lot of interest, it was the local team.
That's right. Of the 2,250 athletes that are here, Peterborough has a number of athletes in it, but primarily the athletes are players who are playing for a zone team, so it's not a team that's entirely made up of Peterborough athletes. So this is very unique, and of course, as you said, Gail, it did attract a lot of attention.
This could be it. Fly ball to infield. That's the game.
So Streetsville will advance.
Peterborough has been eliminated from competition.
Peterborough have been eliminated, but it is quite a thrill for the Peterborough boys and to be in this competition, and I know this will be something that they'll long remember.
Line scores, Streetsville 6 runs and 6 hits. They committed no errors and left 5 runners on base. For Peterborough,
Well, from Riverside Park, I'm Gail Gortmaker.
I'm Kevin Reddy.
Good afternoon.
runners on base.
Okay, well, thank you very much. We are back here at our anchor desk. The Ontario Summer Games well underway, and the finals are going today. Spectators are out there by the hundreds watching these various events, and as we said, we're doing our best to bring you the live TV coverage all over the city of Peterborough. And right now, track and field, of course, is one of the high-profile sports of the games, and a lot of people out here at the track.
Yes, there are. It's a very popular event. There's a lot of spectators, and I think that's why it makes it such an exciting event. We have many final results that were already in yesterday, as well as more finals scheduled for today, so let me review a few of them for you. In the boys' hammer, Pat Callagher from Southwestern took the first place with 48.18. Boris Stoikas from Central took the second place, and Dwayne Brunette from Windsor came in third. Ottawa came in second place, Michael Chitterona from Haileybury, and he came in third place. Scores from all over Ontario, participants from all over Ontario, so I think our viewers are probably enjoying hearing about some of their hometown people. One more final result from the track and field. Steeplechase time sections. This was a boys event, 150 meters. And from the first place team, or first place person, Chris Basil from Tottenham. And he was followed in second place by Scott Stevens, third place by Trevor Penny from the North Central region. If I get my tongue warmed up, we'll be all right this morning. It looks like we do have time for a few more results. Girls 400 time sections. This was again yesterday. More events to take place today. Nicole Scott came in with a time of 59.72, and Kyla Grimaldi from New Lisker came in with a time of 1.0314. A lot of those scores out at the track and field will continue to be given today. Some of the medal winners have already been presented, as I've told you, and we'll have more information from the field later.
Okay, what we're going to do now is to get an update on the track event. A very busy place, many people watching the action today. And Earl Catchpole is standing by, and he'll give us this update out at the track.
Good morning and welcome back to the track here at Trent. We're going to go through some of the updates from yesterday's standings with Anya Jontanen, and eventually we'll be covering some more events here at the track throughout the day. But first, why don't we find out what happened a little bit yesterday and this morning. Anya?
Thank you very much, Earl. In the boys' 1,500-meter final standings, we have in third place Mark McDonald, representing the Western region. Coming in on second place is Nick Cioros from the Central region, and taking first place was John Bowden from the Eastern region. In the girls' 100-meter finals, in third place, Charmaine Gilgis from the Central region. In second place, Pam Nepzi, Southwestern. And taking first place was Christina Forward from the Eastern region. And in the girls' 80-meter hurdles finals, we have in third place Heather Ing from North Central. Second place went to Kim Waterhouse Western. And first place standing was Val Beckles from Southwestern region. In the girls' 1,500-meter events, final standings, in third place, Tracy Smith, Eastern. Second place, Jennifer Armstrong from the Southwestern region. And in first place, her twin sister, Julie Armstrong. And in the boys' 3,000-meter final standings, sitting in third place is Chris D'Annunzio from the Western region. Second place, Jordy Rich, Eastern. And first place went to Kevin Smith from the Central region. In today's events, 2 events have been held in the 3,000-meter finals. In third place for the girls' 3,000-meter was Leanne McVeigh, representing the northern region. Second place went to Carolina Velson from Southwestern. And first place, another Southwestern person, Jennifer Armstrong. And the boys' 1,500 final standings, 1,500-meter final standings. In third place, Mark McDonald Western. Second place, Nick Cioros from the Central region. And first place went to John Bowden, Eastern region. And Earl, that's it for the updates.
Geez, we had a lot of stuff going on yesterday and today, Anya. Thank you very much. Next, we're going to go to Bob Hancock. He's our field commentator, and he's going to be giving us a little bit of an update on what we may be seeing today in the track events. Bob?
Yes, Earl, thanks. The track events this afternoon should be just as exciting as they were yesterday afternoon. We'll be looking at televising the 200-meter finals along with the 800-meter finals. The always very, very popular 4x1 relays will be on, as well as the 300-meter hurdles. You have already heard Anu mention that one of the Armstrong girls has won the 3,000 this morning. That was Jennifer Armstrong. And this afternoon, her twin sister Julie Armstrong will be coming up. Yesterday, they finished first and second in the 1,500 meters, and we'll be looking forward to that race. Another interesting thing, Earl, is that Ainsworth Morgan, who won the hurdles yesterday in record time, was second in the 100 meters, having already won 2 medals. He has a chance to win 2 more medals today as he's qualified for the 200 final, and also he will be on the highly favored Central team in the 4x1 relay. So Ainsworth Morgan of Toronto Northern Secondary School has a very good chance of being the first athlete here at the Summer Games to win 4 medals in track and field.
Well, it sounds like we're going to have an exciting day at the track, and we hope to bring you the highlights of that action throughout the day. Now we go back to the anchor desk with J. Murray Jones.
Okay, thank you very much, Earl. Doing a fine job down at the track, trying to keep us updated. And we will be going to the track throughout the day in our coverage. Also, some of the field events are on today as well, and we're hoping to have a fair bit of coverage of that as well, so stick with us. We're on until 5 o'clock today, right here on TV Ontario, Maclean Hunter's TV coverage of the 1986 Ontario Summer Games. We're having a great time in Peterborough, and we're glad you could join us at home. Cricket is one of the sports in the Summer Games, and it is the only sport actually being played outside the basic city limits. Well, sailing, of course, is on Clear Lake just outside, but cricket is in Port Hope at Trinity College School. A very unusual game, a game that perhaps not many of us understand, but maybe we can clear that up right now and have an update of the cricket competition. Let's go to George Gall in Port Hope.
Here's today's early cricket results. Hamilton and District had 98 runs for 4 wickets, and Toronto had 97 for 8 wickets. In the other early game, Ottawa had 111 for 4 wickets, while Southern Ontario had 110 for 10 wickets. In the late games, Toronto and District beat Ottawa 128-59. The other game featured Commonwealth with a score of 134 and Hamilton and District with a score of 181. The scoring was low because of excellence in bowling.
Well, Hamilton and District made 110 runs, and they are bowling very hostile in reply to bowling, i.e. that it's dangerous bowling. You could be actually hurt, sent to hospital by the pace of the ball that's coming off the wicket if you misjudge it and are hitting your head or something, which is totally legal.
Is there anything that management can do in a situation like that, conditioning or something of the like?
Not really. Unfortunately, in cricket, it's a very, very rigorous game requiring much stamina. And you're not allowed to substitute players because of heat or any simple thing like that. They would have to have an actual obvious injury where you might substitute just for fielding purposes only.
So you grin and bear it, and conditioning is all important in this sport.
Correct.
Today's game, Southern Ontario will meet Commonwealth, and Ottawa will meet Hamilton and District, probably the gold medal game. From Trinity College in Port Hope, I'm George Gall.
Okay, thank you very much, George, for explaining a little more information about cricket. A lot of us probably don't understand. That's one of the games here in the 1986 Ontario Summer Games, coming to you live from Peterborough. Well, actually, but we've got a job for Elaine today. We've got her out and about in the city trying to get guests and bringing them into the studio here, and we've sent her on another mission. And Elaine, who did you come back with?
Well, we managed to find John Aikens, our Minister of Transportation, or Tourism and Recreation. I knew I'd do that. Minister of Tourism and Recreation. He's here this morning checking out the games. That ministry is very heavily involved in these games as sponsors and real supporters. John, welcome.
Nice to be with you this morning. It's just great, and I'm just impressed with what I see out here today.
Oh, great. So are we. I'll tell you, the events are exciting. Maybe you could just give us your impressions of the game so far.
Well, I'm tremendously impressed. That's why I'm back here today. I think it's a great opportunity not only for the city, but for the young people to get to know each other and become friends at the end of the session, but also an opportunity for young people to see another part of the great province of Ontario.
I'm sure they have. They've had a chance to get out around Peterborough.
The spirit is great.
Yes, I know that the games have been designed to be a little more competitive this year, a little more structured. Can you give us an idea of why you've done that and what it's about?
Well, I think it make sure that everyone has an opportunity throughout the province to be represented. I think it creates a greater spirit of competition. We have the regional, not only regional considerations, but also the elimination competitions, and it's working out very well this year.
Oh, great. I know the teams are really hyped up when they win. I've seen a few of them already this morning.
Super.
How did you select your cities? When you get the applications from cities, how do you decide which city would be best?
Well, there are a number of considerations given, the spirit of the community, the facilities that are available, and certainly with Peterborough having hosted the Ontario Games previously in 1981, I believe, it was no problem saying that Peterborough is a worthy contender.
They'd proven themselves,
absolutely.
had they?
Great city, great city.
What's in it for the city? I know it's a financial burden on a city as well, getting all the volunteers and organizers. What do you think the city gets out of it?
Well, certainly it brings the people together, a spirit on behalf of the community here, which you just can't value in dollars, but really in the economically, it'll mean something in the neighborhood of close to $3 million for the city of Peterborough and surrounding area, and communities surrounding Peterborough, such as Lindsay and others, are going to benefit. So it's great in that sense too.
Yes, I understand in order to get a room, people are staying quite far away.
That's right.
But that's great. I wondered as well if you knew where the winter games were going to be held, and if the summer and winter games are going to be held on a regular basis now, every 2 years.
Well, the winter games will be in London, and we're hoping that it will continue on a regular basis. I think it's very important that we continue this. Our commitment is to the summer and winter games.
Great. I know the athletes look very forward to it.
Great opportunity.
Well, thank you very much. I'm glad we could grab you for a few minutes and get you in here. I know you want to get back out to the events. That's where all the excitement is, not in this studio. Thank you very much, John Aikens, the Minister of Tourism and Recreation.
Right. And thank you very much, Elaine. We'll send you out and about and see if you can get us some more information. Anyway, volleyball is another one of the very well-received sports here at the games. We're getting a lot of spectators here in the gym at Trinity University watching the action. We're going to be seeing the finals in several events today. Matter of fact, the final in women's volleyball was played this morning. And if you people are in the Scarborough-Toronto area, well, your team is coming home with a gold medal. We have an update on that game from this morning at Trinity University. Let's go to Len Arminio.
Adamson again, blocked. Blocked again. Score the point. We're tied at 14.
Central West has no timeouts left, so Coach Brian Parkinson really is leaving this up to the girls, and he has some substitutions he can get into. See Crystal Miracle coming back in. But right now, it's all up to the girls on the floor.
Okay, with the score tied at 14 now, one team must win by 2. Suddenly the crowd gets very quiet.
I think so.
Adamson takes it. Good save. One more. Nope. Despite our efforts, Audrey DePronio just couldn't get it over the net. It's side out to Central West. Michelle Adamson, number 6, the server. Good set. Comes back at Central West. Good dig. Good block. But just into the net. 15-14 for Central West.
Well, I heard you.
This is game point. Side out, Central West.
Audrey DePronio, the setter for Southwest, showing a little bit of risky play calling there by setting quick sets in the middle.
I know, we're going to say we'll be...
And we have another substitution. Number 1, Renata Ratnick coming in for Central West.
Christian setting. The dink.
And Renata did her job of getting the side out, so Lisa's back in. Why that is Lisa is the setter on the team. Renata is not one of the setters. So.
Long drive. Side out to Southwest. We're at 15-14 for Central West. Southwest needs 1 to tie, 3 to win. Good block of the net by Capito. The dink. Can't recover. Linda Garrett kind of going backwards to try to rescue that shot. Couldn't do it. It goes back to a side out to Central West. We're in the first game of this gold medal match in the women's competition here at the Ontario Summer Games. It's Dee McCauley, the server for Central West.
Good hits up play at the net.
Game point, 16-14, Central West the winner in this first game in the best of 3 of the gold medal match.
That was the gold medal game, and that was played this morning. That was the first game of that match. It was won by 16-14 by the Scarborough-Toronto region, and they came back and won the second 15-5. Some pretty exciting action. We're going to see some of that second game just a little later on. Water skiing. That is taking place at Little Lake in downtown Peterborough, the new marina, a lovely, lovely facility. A lot of tourists and a lot of spectators down there to watch the various water skiing competitions. Greg Mather is standing by, and I understand they have some trick water skiing going on at the moment. Let's go to Greg and find out.
Rocks and all kinds of things down there. So those 2 young girls, I would suggest not being down in the water.
Hi, water skiing's going extremely well today. We've already been through the slalom competition this morning, and we're in the juvenile boys trick skiing competition right now. I'm going to start off by recapping some of yesterday's results. We'll go on to the results that have happened this morning, and then have a bit of an interview. In juvenile girls slalom, Trish Jackson was the winner. Boys slalom, Julian Scarf was first, Andrew Ross was second, Paul Windover was third. In juvenile boys slalom, Matthew Reaney was first, Douglas Ross was second, Jamie McDonald was third. In veteran men's slalom, Dave Kovacs was first, Bill Tallman was second, John Pepper was third. These are all results from yesterday, Saturday's competition. In veterans men's jumping, Dave Clark was first, Peter Heenan was second, Andy Jackson was third. Juvenile boys jumping, Matthew Reaney was first, Jeremy Kovacs was second, Doug Ross was third. In the boys jump, Stephen Sherban was first, Danny Reaney was second. Julian Scarf was third. Women's jumping, Terry Gibbons was first. Miranda Farr was second. Women's tricks, Terry Gibbons was first. Miranda Farr was second. In senior men's tricks, Harold Townsend was first. Jim Stacey was second. And Tim Hansen was third. In the men's tricks, Tom Stacey was first. Stephen Smith was second. Bill Kuzmachuk was third. Girls slalom and girls tricks, Lisa Schultz was first. And in senior women's tricks, Nedra McDonald was first. And to update today's standings to this point in time, in the senior women's slalom, Nedra McDonald, who was the only competitor, was first. In the women's slalom, Terry Gibbons was first. Miranda Farr was second. In senior men's slalom, Paul Fitzgerald was first. Tim Hansen second. And Steve Harridan was third. And in the men's slalom, Tom Stacey was first. Bill Kosmachek was second. And Peter Lorenz was third. And those are the standings to this point in time. I have with me Dr. Ernie Clemens, who is the Assistant Chief of Competition. And maybe you can just tell us how things are going this morning, Ernie, and when we have something going on, perhaps fill us in on what's going on here.
Thanks very much, Greg. It's a pleasure to be in Southern Ontario visiting. We are from the far northern part of the province. We're delighted to be down here. The weather conditions are excellent for us. A beautiful site here in Peterborough. I'd like to congratulate the people in Southern Ontario for hosting this. Tournament conditions today are very, very acceptable. We have a bit of rough water occasionally, but the skiers are coping with it fairly nicely. Interestingly enough, and of course from a slightly prejudicial point of view, we're watching some really fine results from our northwestern Ontario skiers. I'm pleased to say that Terry Gibbons has taken gold in all three events that she skied in, and young Bill Kuzmchuk from Sulakaut, just getting over a nasty injury, has taken a bronze and a silver in his tricking and slalom events. I'm pleased about this, as I'm pleased for all the competitors that are personally turning in some good results, and in some cases some best results for their careers.
Maybe you could tell us, Ernie, I know we just saw one of the juvenile boys go by trick skiing. The one young fella, I think, had some quite impressive standings or credentials. Maybe you can explain some of that. He's already done his run, but you could maybe just tell us about him.
Sure, Greg. Filling in on young Ryan Bush, son of Jim and Judy Bush from Bala, Ontario. He currently holds the juvenile boys Canadian trick record. He is an outstanding young athlete, competing in the 8-year age group for boys in this tricking event. He has tricked all over this continent and has raised the eyebrows in all of the authorities in trick skiing. His closest competition would be the sons of Jim McCormick in Seffner, Florida. He currently has a record at approximately 4,760 points, which is a credit to him and his family.
Maybe you can just explain to us briefly something about trick skiing so that people would get an idea of what it exactly means that he's that point total.
Certainly. The trick event consists of 2 segments, 20 seconds in each segment behind a certified towboat. The skier is allowed to ski on 1 or 2 skis. Naturally, the points awarded become greater with the degree of difficulty on 1 ski rather than 2. The skier is allowed to set the boat speed at his choice and enters the course, skis his pass for 20 seconds, and attempts to complete on the water as many gymnastic movements, I guess is the best way of describing it, as he can without falling. That is, staying within a skiing position. He is then awarded points on the basis of certain criteria that are laid down in the rule book according to how he performs that or those individual tricks. These 2 runs are then added up, and the cumulative score determines his overall placing.
Now, as Chief of Competition, Ernie, maybe you can tell us a bit about what's been going on today. I know there's been a few contests about conditions here. Maybe you can just tell us something about that and what your position entails.
Sure. Whenever a skier recognizes a problem on the water, it can be anything from boat speed to debris, to, especially in this particular case, the conditions of the water, rolling water, rough water, and in particular this event, if the waves or the crests of the boat wakes are not perfect, the skier is allowed to protest. This then becomes a judgment decision for the judges who are polled, and in all events, it's a majority decision, and we try to rule to the favor of the skier so that he is allowed to perform at his best. We try never to rule against the skier.
Now, the conditions are looking a little ominous here right now with the rain. Does the rain play any part in the skiing? Will things be held up if there happens to be rain?
Okay, in this particular event, unless the rain or the climatic conditions here in southern Ontario become so ominous, as you say, that it would be an endangerment to the skier or the safety crews or the boat driver, the event will go on. So if there's a light drizzle to a moderate drizzle in this event, tricking, the event will still be held. However, this does not hold true for the jumping event, as you can understand, because of the extra degree of difficulty rather than two. The skier is allowed to set the boat speed at his choice and enters the course, skis his pass for 20 seconds and attempts to complete on the water as many gymnastic movements, I guess is the best way of describing it, as he can without falling. That is, with staying within a skiing position. He is then awarded points on the basis of certain criteria that are laid down in the rule book according to how he performs that or those individual tricks. These two runs are then added up, and the cumulative score determines his overall placing.
Now, as Chief of Competition, Ernie, maybe you can tell us a bit about what's been going on today. I know there's been a few contests about conditions here. Maybe you can just tell us something about that and what your position entails.
Sure. Whenever a skier recognizes a problem on the water, it can be anything from boat speed to debris, to, especially in this particular case, the conditions of the water, rolling water, rough water, and in particular this event, if the waves or the crests of the boat wakes are not perfect, the skier is allowed to protest. This then becomes a judgment decision for the judges who are polled, and in all events, it's a majority decision, and we try to rule to the favor of the skier so that he is allowed to perform at his best. We try never to rule against the skier.
Now, the conditions are looking a little ominous here right now with the rain. Does the rain play any part in the skiing? Will things be held up if there happens to be rain?
Okay, in this particular event, unless the rain or the climatic conditions here in southern Ontario become so ominous, as you say, that it would be an endangerment to the skier or the safety crews or the boat driver, the event will go on. So if there's a light drizzle to a moderate drizzle in this event, tricking, the event will still be held. However, this does not hold true for the jumping event, as you can understand, because of the extra degree of difficulty and the safety margin that's required. So if we do find inclement weather within the next 2 hours, we will have to make a judgment as to whether we can continue. Since we are moving after this series of tricking events, we are moving then into jumping to finish today's competition.
We just saw a young fellow go by on a trick skiing pass. There was a number of maneuvers. Maybe you could just explain some of the different maneuvers that he was doing and how those would compare with, say, a men's competition in trick skiing?
Okay, in this division, juvenile boys, it is very interesting to note the agility of the skiers, and when you ask me to compare with the older skiers, the word around the water ski circuit these days is, in fact, tricks are for kids, because when you see these young people tricking, it is astounding to watch the incredible maneuvers their bodies make, and certainly in the senior men and veteran men's division, not to discredit the older fellows such as myself, it's just not quite the same game. This young fellow that just went by on one ski, so all of the judgment calls that were made are based on higher values. Can you excuse me for just one moment?
Sorry. Ernie just had to be called away to deal with a problem. We're going to wrap up now. We'll be back to water skiing through the day. Things are going extremely well. We're in the juvenile boys trick skiing.
Okay, Greg, thank you very much. That came to us live from Little Lake, and we'll be hearing more from Greg. Maybe we can get him to do a report as he does some tricks out on the water. I think that could be entertaining as well, Greg, so we'll be looking forward to that. Okay, right now we are going live to the track at Trent University, and our man on the scene, Earl Catchpole, is there getting ready for the 300-meter female hurdles. Let's go to Earl.
Thanks, Jay. Welcome back to the Trent track. We're going to be taking a look at the girls 300 meters timed. That will be running very shortly, but before we get into that, we'll be speaking with Bob Hancock, our track commentator. And Bob, maybe you can tell me a little bit about the girls 300 meter relay.
Yes, Earl, the 300-meter hurdle that's coming up, this is the final section, and the fast competitors are in this section. We've already had the first section, and coming up now will be 6 of the finest juvenile girls in the province of Ontario. They will include Susan Peroni, who is the Ontario Bantam champion from last year in the 300 hurdles, Kim Walderhouse of South Simcoe Dufferin, a student at Alliston Banting Memorial School, who was 3rd at the Canadian Junior Championships over 400-meter hurdles, will be running in this event. And that will also have Nicole Hoshing of Kitchener-Waterloo, who was 3rd at the Ontario Midget 300-meter hurdles. Now, they'll be coming up in just a moment. They'll be followed later on by the boys 300 hurdles, and both of these look, Earl, to be outstanding events, I would say, here at the track.
The weather conditions today are quite a bit different than they were yesterday. We've got a lot more wind. Is that going to have any effect on some of these longer hurdle runs?
The wind today seems to be blowing a little more, as you have alluded to, and it tends to be favoring the competitors. So I would say before we could take a look at any records today, the wind velocity definitely would have to be checked with the wind gauge operator, because the wind is blowing at their backs, and that would be a definite advantage. The heat is not as oppressive today as it was, so for the distance races that have been run and that will be run later on, the 800 meters, there should be no effect of heat on them today. However, the wind will come into play, particularly in the distance races, where you will have a crosswind, and it's a little more difficult to run in that. But I see we're now ready for these 300-meter hurdles. The lane assignments here, running in lane number 1 will be Katie Klein of South Windsor Knights of Columbus. Suzanne Peroni will be running in lane 2, representing the Oshawa Legion. In lane 3, from North Bay, will be Anne Martinello. Kim Walderhouse, one of the favorites in this race, will be running in lane 4. Pam Nepsey of Chatham will be running in lane 5. And Nicole Hoshing of Kitchener-Waterloo will be running in lane number 6. The record in this event was set in 1983 by Carla Wilson of the York University Optimists, a time of 43.95 seconds. 300-meter hurdles for girls, now ready to go. This is for the medals. Now, it is a false start, Earl, which means that one of the competitors has jumped the gun, as we say in track and field. A false start will consist if there is movement before the gun goes off. A competitor is allowed 1 false start, but on the second, then they are disqualified.
Now, we are covering the second timed heat of the girls. How does the timed heat work? Now, we've seen other heats in the last couple of days where they've run and then they've gone into finals and then they've run. Now, I understand these are finals.
All right, these are timed sections, and this is the fast time section of the 2. Now, the seed times that have been sent in to the organizing committee is what determines which section they go into. In the girls' 300-meter hurdles, there were 12 entries. Therefore, the 6 slowest times would go in the first section, and the 6 fastest times would go in the second section. Therefore, you would expect that the winner of the 3 medals would come out of this section, which is now on the track.
Right. Now, we were talking a little bit about how the seed times are sent in. And, well, why don't we go to the race and we'll talk
there
a
it
little
is.
bit
It's
about
on the way right now, the 300-meter hurdles for girls. And Kim Walderhouse of South Simcoe Dufferin is the early leader right now. She was 3rd at the Canadian Junior Championships and also 3rd at the OFSA Junior Championships over 400-meter hurdles. But Kim Walderhouse is just running away with this race right now, running in lane number 4, a student at Banting Memorial High School in Alliston, Ontario. She is the leader. Up on the outside, currently in 2nd place, is Nicole Hoshing with Kathy Klein running down the inside from the Central region. But Kim Walderhouse of Alston Banding Memorial, representing the western region of the South Simcoe Dufferin, has won the second section, and in all likeliness with a time of very, very close to the record. 43.87 was the unofficial time that we had here, Earl, and if that time does hold up electrically, that Kim Walterhouse has not only won this event, but she has also broken the Ontario juvenile record. However, that is strictly unofficial.
Okay, thank you very much, Bob. We'll be bringing you more track events later on the afternoon. Now we go back to J. Murray Jones at the anchor desk. Take it away, Jay.
Thank you very much, Earl. You're doing a fine job down there. You're certainly in the middle of the heat and in the middle of the action as well, down at the track. And we'll be joining the track and some of the field events as we continue our coverage here on TV Ontario until 5 o'clock today through the facilities of Maclean Hunter Cable TV. And wherever you are in the province of Ontario, welcome to our telecast. We hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, we have a quick result from the girls basketball. We have our bronze medalist from the bronze game, which was taking place early this morning. Central versus Central West. We'll have results for you soon.
Rugby is another one of the sports here in the games. We have 5 teams in town from 5 different regions in the province, a very rough and tumble game. And the gold medal game in that sport goes at about 3 o'clock today. But we are going to have an update now. Rugby is being played at Beavermead Park. So let's go to Beavermead and find out more about rugby.
Thank you, Jay. Here we are at Beavermead Park, and I'm talking to Dave Taylor. Dave, this is your second, you finished your second game, 2 wins. How did you feel today?
Overall, it's really good. The pack just played superbly, and the backs, they're getting comfortable with the ball and they're working out their plays, and it's just overall it's really fine ball.
In the first game, I thought that Niagara were defending very well, but obviously the experience in the Toronto side was going to prevail, and it did, and you won 19 points to 0. At any stage of the game, did you ever feel it was in danger?
I think it is 4:47.
No, not really. I think right from the start we went down their end and we just marched in, but I don't really think the score was indicative of the play. They were a good side and they played well, and we just came out on top.
Last year you were the non-travelling member of the Canadian squad. Are you confident that you're going to make the full squad this year?
Well, I'll give it a try. We'll have the nationals from the provincial team this year, and hopefully if I have a good tournament I might be able to get another shot at it, but we'll see what happens.
Great. Well, Roger, thank you very much for spending this time with us, and all the very best the rest of the tournament.
Thank you very much.
I'm now talking with Roger McKeown. Roger, tell me what your position is in the Rugby Union.
My position with the Ontario Rugby Union is Technical Director, which is the grass end of the union. The Executive Director is carpet and concrete. So anything that happens in the game on the field is my responsibility.
Well, you must be impressed, as I am, with the calibre of play that we've seen here today at Beavermead.
Exceptionally. This year's calibre has been even higher than it has in previous years, and every year it seems to escalate. Right now there's 4 very, very good teams, and we had 2 of the 3 games were excellent, close, competitive games.
I believe that there was a new sponsorship that has been brought forward this year, which you're very excited about.
Yeah, very much so. In fact, we've had 1 or 2 new sponsorships this year, but the one in particular that we're very, very excited about is from a travel company in the United Kingdom, DIR Travel, who've done a lot of rugby tours in the past into and out of British Columbia. And they contacted us because they wanted to get into the Ontario market. So for our assistance in arranging their name to be brought forward to the people of the Ontario rugby community, they offered us 2 rugby scholarships a year for the next 3 years, which basically means 2 of our younger junior players are going to be sent to the United Kingdom at their expense. And then the English Rugby Football Union are giving them a week's course with the England national junior side. We really hope, obviously, that this will sharpen their skills and introduce them to sort of very competitive rugby. And this year we have David Lougheed and Eric Campy going from both from the Toronto region.
Well, that's great, Roger. We're fortunate to have young Mr. Lougheed with us today, and we're going to spend some time with him. I would just like to take this opportunity of thanking you for spending this time with us, and we sincerely hope that the programme continues in its good state.
Fine, thank you very much indeed.
I'm now talking with David Lougheed, who has been the recipient of a recent sponsorship award. David, tell me, how excited are you about this award?
Well, I was pretty excited when I found out. It was a real surprise. I was just at the tryouts and they asked me if it would be possible. I said sure. So.
Your position on the field is fullback. Do you find that there's plenty of scope here to show your flair?
Oh yeah, it's fun. You know, whenever the other team kicks the ball down, you've got to try and catch it and then kick it back.
Great. Well, David, this sponsorship, you head off to England when?
I leave around the 31st of July for a week.
And you train with the English junior team?
I believe so, yes, with Trent College.
This would be a fairly extensive training program. It'd be for how long?
Oh, it's for a week. I just got the itinerary today, and it looks pretty tough.
Good. We would like to wish you all the very best on behalf of all our rugby followers in Ontario, and we hope that you come back and shine and get through onto the Canadian national team.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Now having a look at some of the results from today's play. It was Toronto Rugby Union over Niagara Rugby Union, 19 points to 0. Eastern Ontario outplaying Southwestern 18-7. And Toronto dominating in the third game, 40 points to 0 over Southwestern. Niagara Rugby Union are presently playing Eastern Ontario, and the result will be given later. Later action will be Northern Niagara Rugby Union against Southwestern, and Eastern Ontario will be playing Toronto Rugby Football Union. This is Dennis Russell at Beavermead.
Thank you very much, Dennis. Very informative. A fast-growing sport in the province of Ontario, rugby, and we hope to hear more from Dennis and the crew who are at Beavermead to cover the action. Lane, we're learning all kinds of things about sports. Can we start using some terms? Scrum, things like that?
You can use scrum. I'll stick to softball. And speaking about softball, we do have some men's results in the softball. The bronze medal has been decided. Mountain has taken the bronze in the men's softball. The gold medal game is currently on between Owen Sound and Simcoe. We'll have those results for you soon.
Volleyball on at Trent University, and we're already presenting gold medals, actually. The ladies was played this morning. The gold medal was decided. A few minutes ago, we had some of the action of this morning's game, the first game of the gold medal match. And right now, Len Arminio is going to show us some of the highlights of the second game of that gold medal volleyball game. Let's go to Len.
6 points. It's one of those please don't let the ball touch the floor type of instructions.
Jolie Christian for Central West. And that's going nowhere but into the crowd. Make it 12-5. And Audrey DePronio trying to get her teammates fired up here, clapping her hands, patting everybody on the back. They're down by 7. And that serve goes into the net. Side out to Southwest. And
we have another substitution coming up here. Number 1, Renata Ratnick going in for number 5, Lisa Soltitsky. Number 1, Renata Ratnick is the younger sister of Diane Ratnick, the setter off Canada's national team.
Well, that serve again into the net.
So what it looks like Coach Parkinson has done is he's left Jolie to set in the backcourt and put Renata in front court to do some blocking.
Miracle. Blocked. And outside. And another substitution now, this time for Southwest. Antonella Sigia coming in.
That's not a good substitution. There, that's a better one.
Okay, she's going to be replacing Linda Garrett, number 8. 13-5. Central West now only 2 points away from the gold medal. Adamson going to set this for McCauley. The spike off the block. Christian. Marco. Into the net by Sigia. Make it 14-5. We are now at game and match point for Central West. Here the girls yelling, one more, one more, one more to the gold medal for Central West. Adamson to serve. Over the net. And It's out. That's it. It's over. Gold medal to Central West.
Again, a nice tough serve by Michelle down the line, and Renata just reached up and just smacked it back to finish the match. A little bit of excitement out there.
And those girls are very happy.
It's really good to see kids from all areas in Mississauga and Scarborough and up near Barrie, Bramalea, Don Mills, Ontario, and downtown Toronto, just coming together in one region and playing this well together.
Well, some great action. That game was played earlier this morning here at Trent University. That was the gold medal game in women's volleyball. So you people in Scarborough, Toronto area can be proud of your athletes. They are coming home with a gold medal. Sailing is another one of the 15 sports involved here at the Ontario Summer Games. Having a great time up there at Clear Lake, just outside of the city. And we have some people up there as well to tune us in to what is happening. The Laser 2 boats are being used, and this is for 18 and under, male and female, in the sailing competition. Let's go up to Clear Lake and have a look.
Hi, I'm sitting here with Shauna Moss and Al Adams at the Peterborough Sailing Club, and the races have just been completed on Saturday, and we have the winners actually from Friday to talk to. First of all, Shauna, perhaps you could tell me a little bit about the conditions.
Well, the conditions were very light, as they were today as well. I guess I should have thought about what the race was like yesterday.
Is there a different strategy when you have light conditions than when you have heavy conditions?
Yes, it's much less boat handling in light air. It's more just trying to see where the wind is and trying to get to the wind, because just like there are patches of wind out in the water, and the more wind that you can get, the faster you'll go. And there's a lot of tactics involved and just trying to get speed.
Al, how did you prepare for the games? Did you do a lot of training for this?
Yeah, actually, not specifically for the games, but earlier this spring we got out quite a bit and did a lot of sailing together. That was mainly for yachts, which was the national 18 unders. So this is kind of spillover, really.
Mm-hmm. Shauna, maybe we can go back to you. Were you nervous going into this race?
Well, I wasn't too sure of how things were gonna go, because there are a lot of sailors that I haven't sailed against. Well, I guess I wasn't really all that nervous. Like, I wasn't expecting anything big. I've done a lot of racing in my life, so it was, it was out to have. Well, it's not old hat, but I was just out to have a fun time, really. So, especially being really light and shifty, you can get sewered, and there's not much you can do about it. So if you expect big, then you'll get really upset if you don't do well, and that's if you get upset, then you'll never go fast. So.
Al, were you leading right from the beginning, or were you behind at the start, or maybe you can tell me a little bit about your start?
On Friday?
On Friday.
We were in the middle of the pack, weren't we? I think Shona would be the better person to ask about that. How were we?
I guess we were fourth around the first mark, and then we put the spinnaker up, and Al's very good with the spinnaker, and we passed 2 boats, and so we were second, and we just stayed second the whole time, with this one boat led the whole thing, and then on the last leg we passed them.
How did you decide that was the time to put the spinnaker up?
Well, usually when you get to the windward mark, you pop the chute right away. It's just something you do. As soon as you're on that leg, you put the chute up.
Does everybody do that?
Yeah.
But some people are better than others at it?
Well, what can I say? No.
Well, Shauna told me you were...
It's just a matter... No, you just... If you can lay the next mark, you pop the chute. It's just an extra sail which makes you go faster downwind.
Well, I hope more your conditions are better and a little more exciting for you. And this is Nancy Sharp speaking with Shauna and Al, who were the winners of the Friday race at the Clear Lake.
Okay, thank you very much. Sailing, that's going on at Clear Lake, a beautiful location out there. They're having a good time. And some of the athletes in sailing. Remember, over 2,000 athletes are in town this weekend here in Peterborough, competing in 15 different sports. A crowd of people, a lot of people to feed and house and everything else. A big job, Elaine.
Yes, and it's so unfortunate the sailing couldn't take place yesterday due to the lack of the winds. They're trying to catch up today. But one event that doesn't have to worry about the weather, it's good enough for them, is field hockey, and we have some medal winners. We are gold medal winner for field hockey. This is men's field hockey out of Beavermead Park, has been taken by the Toronto team. Silver medal's been taken by Ottawa team, and bronze is given to Kitchener, Waterloo, London, Guelph area, and the medal presentations will be taking place later this afternoon.
Okay, basketball is now the subject at hand. As we've said before, all the finals are going today. The gold medal games, some have been played, some are still coming up, but the action is getting hot and furious, believe me. In the women's final, basketball, it's underway right now, live, Central against Central West. Let's go to Doug Dart for live action from Trent University.
We've got the gold medal game, girls basketball. And it's been a terrific game throughout. We're into the second half with just 5 minutes remaining in the game. Central against Central West. Central came into this championship game undefeated in tournament play with a 5-0 record. Central West, their only loss was to Central, and by a score of 65-60. Two great teams, close game in this gold medal game, and the score reflects that. Central leading by a score of 62-58. Bill? It's been great action both ways with two different teams with different styles.
They sure have. The Central team in beige is a quick team that works very hard on defense, and the orange team, Central West, more of a power game. They try to work the ball inside, and it's been fun watching. The momentum of the game has swung back and forth a number of times, and we're seeing a very close finish, and as commentators, we're hoping to see OT.
We certainly are. A lot of fouls in the game. Central team is smaller, and therefore when Central West forces the ball inside, Central is usually forced to commit a foul, and a number of players on the Central team have committed 4 fouls. It's very important for Central West to keep hitting from the foul line as they did on that occasion. With under 4 minutes now, Central in the beige, leading 62-59, and there's a turnover. Lauren Gritch coming back with the ball. Central's game is to play pressure defense up floor and hope to make the other team commit a turnover. Foul on the play by Cian Coney of Central. One of Central West's problems in the orange has been that they don't have the experienced guards to come off the bench that Central has. Central have 4 guards: Hudson, Jeffrey, Harrison, who are of really equal ability, and there is no way that Central West has players that are quite that caliber. They have 2 great starting guards in Lauren Gritch and Pam Spiro. But and that inexperience in the backcourt, Bill, has been a little noticeable in the last couple of minutes, particularly with Kelly Mackey.
Sure, bringing the ball up. That last foul could be a critical factor. That foul has put Central West into the bonus situation, so they'll be on the line with every foul now, shooting 1 in a bonus. So in the first half, foul shots were very critical. Both teams did not shoot well, and Central West may have to win it or lose it from the foul line.
Central West has been on the line, though, a lot more often, and they have scored more points from the foul line during the course of this game and find themselves down by only 1 point with a little over 4 minutes remaining. Girls championship gold medal game here at the Ontario Summer Games. Central leading by a point, 62-61.
What a luxury Central West has in their forwards. They just had Nora Shep get into foul trouble, and they replaced her with Tomasevic.
Another 6-footer.
And a player.
And a player. They have 3 6-foot inside players. Tomasevic sisters, 13 and 15. Gloria, number 15. Janie, number 13. Both girls 6 feet tall and powerful inside players. Here's number 9, Dina Nyatlik. Dina's come off the bench to have a good game. There's Mack. Oh, nice to see it. She's come off the bench under pressure. She doesn't have the experience of some of the other girls, and she made a lovely basket there to put her team ahead by 1 point.
Doug, she made it look easy. Right through traffic, laid it in as if nobody was there.
Now Central. They're very poised with the ball. They're smaller, so they have to move the ball. And there is one of their Cadillac players, Cian Coney. She comes off the bench, but she's a starting player. They have so many starting players. There's no difference when they substitute. Tomasevich, pressured by Central. They're smaller. They have to play very tough defense. They can't allow the taller Central West team to get inside, or it's an automatic basket. Here's Mackey with her own little shot. Missed that one. Jump ball. International rules. Those who follow the game of basketball know in North America now they have alternating possessions. But with international rules, they continue to have a jump ball, which slows the game down a little bit. But it's been a great gold medal game. 1 point. The lead has changed hands not very often, but it's always been 4 or a 6 point lead at most, and at this particular point Central is up by 1 point, 64-63, and we're getting down to 3 minutes remaining in this final game. Pam Spiro is going to have to do it for her team a little bit. She tried on that jump shot and had it rejected. Now Central with the ball, and here's one of their outstanding guards, Tish Jeffrey. Passes so well to Cian Coney. They keep looking for Vicki Harrison to come in. She isn't at the moment. She has been one of the outstanding players for Central as well.
With 2 minutes and 31 left in the game and the game on the line, I'm looking at the players on the floor. There isn't anyone hiding. They all want the ball. All players are willing to take and make a shot, whatever play is necessary.
Just like Tomasevich did that time to put her team ahead by 1 point. 2 minutes remaining in the game coming up. Here's Tish Jeffrey, swings the ball to Cian Coney.
Got away with a double dribble.
Cian Coney wants it back. Oh, a little nervous there. Gave the ball up. Here comes Gritch. Pulls up, short on the shot. Girls are getting a little tight now. 2 minutes remaining, 1 point game. Wonderful gold medal game.
You're watching live coverage of the 1986 Ontario Summer Games.
We have the final 1 minute, 42 seconds remaining in this gold medal game. Girls basketball. Ontario Summer Games. Central West leading by a score of 65-64. And over Central, and Central on the line, and here's Harrison back in the game. Billy, I couldn't understand why she was out of the game so long.
That's your Cadillac player, and there she is. Pressure's on, she's got the ball.
Made the first of two to tie it up. Missed the second one. I thought she was on the bench a little too tight now. 2 minutes remaining, 1 point game. Wonderful gold medal game.
You're watching live coverage of the 1986 Ontario Summer Games.
We have the final 1 minute, 42 seconds remaining in this gold medal game. Girls basketball. Ontario Summer Games. Central West leading by a score of 65-64. And over Central, and Central on the line, and here's Harrison back in the game. Billy, I couldn't understand why she was out of the game so long.
That's your Cadillac player, and there she is. Pressure's on, she's got the ball.
Made the first of two to tie it up. Missed the second one. I thought she was on the bench a little too long. She's just too good to sit that long.
Well, she's fresh, ready to go for it. Game's on the line. She's ready to go.
Tomasevic. Gloria's had a great second half. Puts her team up by 2. In this game, Billy is going right down the wire. You might get your wish yet.
OT, come on. Central West is, I think, is getting, it's beginning to get some momentum. They're on a little bit of a roll here. It's a nice time. We mentioned earlier that momentum has been swinging back and forth.
Good coaching move there. Central West ahead with a minute remaining. They're up 2. You want to talk to your team at this point. Bill, well, you and I were coaching. We probably wouldn't take another shot the rest of the game, but 30-second clock in international rules doesn't allow you to do that. So what's the coach of Central West telling his team?
Central West has to use up as much of the clock as possible. First of all, I think the primary objective is to use up 20 seconds, use up 15 seconds, but make sure that the shot that you take is a good shot under control. Having used as much time as possible. You certainly do not want to waste 30 seconds and throw up any type of shot. Central, on the other hand, is going to have to put a lot of pressure on the ball without committing a foul, because both teams are in bonus. You don't want to give people some free shots from the line.
Our statistician, Bob McLaughlin, for this game, a very important statistic. Central West in this half are 7 out of 8 from the foul line, and Central is 1 from 6, 1 out of 6. And that could be a very big difference in the game. A little surprised at that, because Billy Central, they're a better outside shooting team. And when you can shoot from outside, you usually can shoot foul shots. 2 points.
There's something
West
about
with
that.
the ball. Oh, almost a turnover and a travel. Central with the ball. They're behind. Down 2. 1 minute remaining. Cianconi wants the ball. Misses the shot. Rebounded well by Tomasevic. Spiro pushes the ball up. Finds the other Tomasevic sister inside. Oh, she forced it up a little bit. Forced it up.
A great left-hand layup.
But Yadlik,
she's done that 2 or 3 times. Got the ball at the blocks, turned, not actually squared to the hoop, but threw it up with the left hand off the backboard and dropped it in.
a big basket. Dina Niedlik. I'm sure I'm pronouncing her name incorrectly, but by golly, she just made a pressure basketball play for her team.
Pronouncing her name might be as difficult as that last shot that she made.
Might be. And Central West is now up 4, and this would be an upset without question if Central West continue with the lead for the remainder of the game. They're changing. Oops, they're changing the time on the clock.
I think they were a little bit late stopping the clock, and the officials are now adjusting it to the correct timing.
Well, we said, Bill, that there could be a turnaround in this game. Central, the team in beige, came into the gold medal game undefeated, winning 5, losing none. They had defeated the Central West, their opponents in this gold medal game, by only 5 points, 65-60. You and I both felt that Central West, with their terrific size, 3 6-foot players who can be on the floor and the inside for them, might be a difference in a game like this. And right now, Central West, they're up 4. Harrison with the ball. You got to get it in her hands. She is the player. Misses that shot. And Lori Lovell, who's played a very strong game for Central on the inside, creates that jump ball situation. But you have to know that most jump ball situations now are going to favor Central West in the final 30 seconds of the game. They'll probably get the tip. Who gets possession? Central West. Gritch keeps the ball. Gets it back. Almost a double dribble. Here's the double team. Little desperation pass, but it works. Spiro with the ball. That could ice it. She misses. Tomasevic controlled the ball.
Here, in international rules in FIBA, the team now has an option. They can go to the line and shoot, or they can take possession at the sideline. So an option that the coach would be considering right at this present time.
Now, one of the girls are talking over that option. What are they doing? Well, coach, they're going to take your They're going to take possession. Why would you take possession instead of shooting the ball?
Well, I think time is more important than the clock. They've got 14 seconds left.
Change their mind.
They're shooting.
Change their mind.
There goes that strategy.
There's two theories in this, I think. I know Bob McLaughlin, our statistician and coach, he always likes the idea you get points when you can get them. The other situation is, of course, the time clock is no longer a factor. There's only 12 seconds left in the game, so if you throw the ball in from the end line, you hopefully retain possession of it and run out the clock.
Sure.
So the West has the ball in a 4-point lead, and it looks as if there's going to be a bit of an upset here in the gold medal game. Central West is probably going to defeat Central, who went through tournament play undefeated. An intentional foul there by Cian Coney with 4 seconds left. I don't think it's going to make any difference.
Oh, no option now. I think you shoot it and just salt the game. Even if you don't play any defense at all, you let the other. I'm not sure that I'd even attempt to rebound. Just shoot it, let it go, and let the clock run out. Oh, I thought they may have called a foul.
Thought they may have. Somebody was in the lane too early, so they called for a repeat of the shot. Now what's the problem?
1 second went off the clock. It shouldn't have gone off. So the official at the score clock has that,
indicating 4 seconds remaining on the clock. So they'll probably just hesitate with the clock 1 second before starting it. Here's Pam Spiro, who's had a great game for Central West. She's been on the floor practically the whole game. She's run her team's offense. She was in foul trouble in that first half, Billy, and she never got to her in the second half, and that shot did it. And that's the end of the girls' gold medal game at the Ontario Summer Games. Central West, who had lost to Central in the tournament play, come back with a 70-65 victory. Central West over Central. Bill, it was a great game.
It was an excellent game, and the way the momentum swung back and forth, anyone could have won. It just so happened that the game ended when the momentum was in favor of Central West. If they play this game tomorrow, it could be just as close, and it could be Central coming out on top.
Well, this is Doug Dart, along with Bill Napodiak from Trent Gym, the Ontario Summer Games.
Thank you very much. Very exciting action taking place right here where we sit, actually, in the athletic complex out at Trent University. And that was women's basketball. That was the final. So the gold medal, the Ontario champions, are from Central West. And by the way, the athletes we just watched on that gold medal team are from the Niagara St. Catharines area. So congratulations, some more gold medal winners.
And we have more final scores for you, final medalist winners. In men's field hockey, 2 games played this morning. Both the bronze and the gold medal games were played. The bronze was taken by Central West, covering Kitchener, Waterloo, London, and Guelph. They took the bronze this morning. The game after that decided the silver medalist. It was Ottawa, and the gold medalist for men's field hockey is Toronto. So congratulations to those teams in men's field hockey.
From the shot put to the pole vault. The field events are taking place today out at the track area, of course, here at Trent University. And we are right now going to go down to the field area where the competitions are taking place. Alan Simmons is there with an update. Let's go, Al.
All right, Jay. Some interesting records broken yesterday in the field events. In the juvenile girls 100-meter hurdles, Val Bakells of London Western Club has unofficially broken the record in that event twice yesterday with times of 11.98 and 11.71 seconds. She's also set the unofficial record for the 80-meter hurdles. Karen Crowder has broken the record in the hammer throw with a distance of 29.02 meters. She's from Dundalk and represents the Western region. In the juvenile boys 100-meter hurdles, Darren Boyer of Etobicoke Husky Striders unofficially broke the record at 13.78 seconds, set by Brian Devenye with his time of 13.76 seconds. Yesterday also in the girls' discus, Heather Quick from Windsor threw that discus 38.54 meters. In the boys' discus, John David Dorman of Cornwall, 40.14 meters. The one that everyone is watching today, Jay, is the heptathlon for senior women. That involves 7 events, 4 of which were conducted yesterday. And after those 4 events, we've got a tight race going in that heptathlon for senior women. Jane Roos of East Nepean is only 34 points ahead of Jackie Vanderwall of Central Ontario. Jackie is only 34 points behind, and today's events will of course tell the story in that one. They have the long jump, the javelin, and the 800 meters left to go. That's in the heptathlon. Jane Roos ahead by 34 points, just ahead of Jackie Van Dolleweerd. And running third in that after the first 4 events of yesterday, Bev Summers of Western Mississauga. In the decathlon, we just got an update, Jay, just before we went on the air with you. Mike Scratch from Timmins has 4,002 points in the decathlon. Mark Durrell of Mississauga, a little more than 500 points behind him, but that could be easily caught up today. He's from Mississauga. Mark Durrell just behind Mike Scratch of Timmins in the decathlon. We'll update more of the field events as our day proceeds. I'm Alan.
Thank you very much, Alan. Lacrosse is at the Memorial Centre here in Peterborough. Some very exciting action going on down there. And at this moment, the bronze medal game is underway. The bronze medal up for grabs between Kitchener-Guelph and Whitby Peterborough teams. We are going right now to Gary Hahn at the Memorial Centre. Gary.
Well, this is Gary Hahn at the Peterborough Memorial Centre, the site of the bronze medal game of the Midget Lacrosse competition here at the Ontario Summer Games. I'm in the press box with Dave Dyer and statistician Brian Sage, and we have the Whitby Peterborough All-Stars in a 3-0 lead. There's a shot, and it's 4-0. Number 9, Chris Tucker, just beating Rob Watson, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a goaltending change for the Kitchener-Guelph All-Stars. Kitchener-Guelph, Zone 8, defending the goal to our right, and the Whitby All-Stars, representing Peterborough, Whitby, Scarborough, and the Toronto Beaches, Zone 6, defending the goal to our left. The team from the Kitchener-Guelph area had a 4-2 record during the round-robin portion of this tournament, while the Whitby All-Stars, as you see the replay, were 3-3, so Kitchener has to be favored in this game, but Peterborough-Whitby off to a very quick start.
A fired-up Whitby-Peterborough team, Gary. As a matter of fact, Peterborough has figured in on the first 3 of the Whitby-Peterborough goals. That goal came from Chris Tucker, and it's not the same team we saw yesterday.
This Whitby All-Star team in the dark blue are playing together as a unit as we see a possession call there on the loose ball. The officials for this game, Rob Penny of Scarborough and Bill Earl of Huntsville. And we have a fairly respectable crowd on hand here at the Peterborough Memorial Centre for this bronze medal game, which will be followed by the gold medal game between the Brampton Excelsiors from Zone 10 and the Niagara District All-Stars from Zone 9. We'll go down to the action now on the floor as the scenario is set for today's lacrosse action here at the Memorial Centre. 10 minutes and 40 seconds left to play in the opening period. The big surprise is on the scoreboard. The Whitby All-Stars leading 4-0. Very deliberately down the floor is Rennick, number 14 on the right-hand side. Rennick with a shot. It went wide. Rebound with 12 seconds in the shot clock, and Kitchener-Guelph have possession. Long lead for number 9, Diebold. Jamie Diebold in alone, and a great save there by Dan McWhirter as Diebold had a breakaway. Back up the floor for number 15, Paddock. Paddock will carry it down. A man on his right is number 17, Chafoun. Brian Chafoun couldn't handle the pass. It's taken by Graham, handed to the goaltender, Watson. Watson hands it off for the Kitchener-Guelph All-Stars wearing the white sweaters, and the Whitby All-Stars in the dark blue with the yellow shoulders and the blue socks. So a line change for the Kitchener-Guelph team with less than 10 minutes to play here in the opening period. Kitchener-Guelph want to get that first goal, get on the scoreboard, trying to set up the pick unsuccessfully. Loose ball in the corner, still battling for it, and it's controlled. However, knocked down was Dan McComb. Loose ball at center floor. So far, a very physical match.
Yes, Gary, it's been a very fast game as well. The heat factor hasn't been involved yet because it's not that hot outside yet. It's a little humid, but still cool in the arena, and the players are playing much faster lacrosse than they did yesterday.
Right in is Hill. Got a shot away, but there's a possession call again on the loose ball. And maybe you can explain that loose ball possession call, Dave.
Well, Gary, if they don't have full possession of the ball, if they're on their way to pick the ball up, or it's it's loose in their stick and they're hit from behind or from the side, then they will get possession of that ball.
We have our first penalty call of the game. Number 7 is going to the sin bin, Ron Prowse. So for the first time, a man advantage, and the manpower situation goes in favor of the Whitby All-Stars in the dark blue. Number 8 against Graham. Graham wearing number 9. Number 8 is Larry Downer. Once again, another Peterborough All-Star, and the Peterborough boys figuring very prominently on this Whitby All-Star team. It's controlled by Doug Hill. Hill hands the ball off, then heads to the bench. He's replaced by number 9, Chris Tucker. 30 at the top is Wilson with the ball. Wilson faked a shovel pass, hands it off. A minute 40 left in the Whitby All-Star power play. There's a shot by number 8 Downer. That was blocked by Watson. Rebound is still loose along the boards. So important, gaining possession on those loose balls. The Whitby All-Stars in possession on the power play. Looking for the man off to the side of the goal, just missing Adam Foote. But good hustle to pick up that loose ball again. 8 minutes left in the first period. 4-0, the Whitby All-Stars lead. There's Foote at the side of the goal again. Graham giving him tight coverage. That's Wilson, number 30. His shot, and a good block by Watson, who saw it all the way. Here's the long lead down the floor, and a man off the bench as well. It's Martin, number 11, right in, and another great save by Dan McWhirter in goal for the Whitby All-Stars. As they attempt to get on the scoreboard, it would have been a short-handed goal, but McWhirter was there to make the save. Now we have 45 seconds left in the Kitchener-Guelph All-Star penalty. 7.5 minutes to go in the first period. 3 20-minute straight time periods, except for the last 10 minutes of the third period, which is stop time. 18 is Whittle, his shot. And I believe Watson got a piece of it, or it also grazed the post. Here's the long lead down the floor again. Missing number 11, Wilkinson, so they tried it once, and it worked. They tried it twice, and it went to the goaltender, McWhirter. Downer on the right side, Larry Downer, waiting for his players to move up the floor. 18 seconds on the shot clock. 18 is Whittle. He hands the ball off to the side. There's the shot, partially deflected off the stick of Wilson. Into the center, there's the shot. Good save by Watson. That resets the shot clock. Loose ball in the corner, controlled by Martin. Martin hands it back to the goaltender. Here's the player off the bench again. Number 7 down on the alone. Ron Prowse is right in. He scores. They finally beat Dan McWhirter, and the Kitchener-Guelph penalty had expired, so it's an even strength goal. And finally, the Kitchener-Guelph All-Stars get on the scoreboard as Whitby now lead 4-1 with just over 6 minutes to play.
Oh, Prowse came off the bench. He was wide open, all alone. Just walked in, pulled the goaltender out of position. So far, McWhirter has been playing very good lacrosse. He just caught him off guard and slipped it over his shoulder.
6 minutes to play. The Whitby All-Stars leading 4-1. The face-off at center floor between Rand and Driscoll. Brought back into the Kitchener-Guelph defensive zone, taken by Prowse. Ron Prowse. Prowse hands the ball up to Driscoll. Driscoll back to Prowse. This Kitchener-Guelph team in the round-robin portion of the tournament moved the ball extremely well. Number 10, McLaren, knocked off his feet. And the Whitby All-Stars come back down the floor. Number 4 is on the right-hand side. Rands, there's the pass for Rands. Just missing. The rebound taken by Monroe. He hands it back to 18, Whittle. Whittle looking for the open man. Throws it into the center. Nice give and go right in. The shot was wide, however, from Monroe. 5:20 left to play here in the opening period. The bronze medal game in Midget Lacrosse. What a great pass down the floor. And number 20, Blasdell, was robbed by McWhirter. We've had some excellent end-to-end action here in the first period. Out front again. And for the second time, Blasdell is stopped by McWhirter. Kitchener-Guelph now applying all the pressure. A low shot. And McWhirter has that, and the rebound is handed back as well. So Dan McWhirter so far is the story in this ball game.
In an attempt to get something going, they're throwing that long pass down the floor, and Whitby Peterborough getting caught with the long pass, and then they scramble to find an open man so they can pick up the coverage.
Whitby All-Stars now on the offensive, trying to roll around a man was Whittle, trying to set up the pick. There's number 16, Monroe. He's knocked down, and I believe we're going to have a tripping penalty. Yes, the second infraction called against the Kitchener-Guelph All-Stars, and this hurts with the score 4-1 in favor of Whitby.
Well, that was a choice for the referee. He could have called a tripping penalty or possibly checking from behind. The player didn't have full possession of the ball, and he was hit from behind. We just go over the score sheet. What we have now, score 4-1. Whitby Peterborough fared on the scoring the first 3 goals. Wayne Grant, Sean Mowry, and Larry Downer. Chris Tucker also added a goal for the Whitby Peterborough squad to make it 4-0. The lone goal coming for Kitchener-Guelph from Prowse and Gardonio. So right now the score is 4-1, 3:57 left to go in this first period.
And once again, the Kitchener-Guelph All-Stars will have to hold off this Whitby All-Star power play. There's a ball for Prowse, a bad throw from the goaltender, goes out of play, and possession handed over to the Whitby All-Stars. They'll be very deliberate coming down the floor. They'll set up, and we see a zone initially applied by the Kitchener-Guelph team. Whether they go to man-to-man will determine just what the coach wants them to do. Lindsay Sanderson is the coach of this Kitchener-Guelph team. There's the long shot, the stop by Watson, and Watson's got the rebound as well. Watson going for that long lead pass for Prowse. It went off Prowse's stick. The rebound is there for Driscoll. And again, McWhirter making the save. If the Guelph-Kitchener team could get a short-handed goal here, it would put them right back in the thick of things with just 3 minutes to play in the opening period. It comes back to Graham. Graham's got a great outside shot, but he was not concentrating on his stick handling, and here's a breakaway from center. Adam Foote is in alone. Foote with a shot. He missed the target. The rebound is controlled by Wayne Grant. Grant, number 12 for the Whitby All-Stars. And apparently the net is slightly off the peg there. That's why the whistle.
Rob Watson from Kitchener-Guelph has an excellent long pass. He's throwing the ball down the floor, trying to get something going, getting the Kitchener-Guelph team open. They're moving that ball well. They just can't click, Gary.
Whittle is 18. To Wilson. To Grant. Grant shot. And it was right at Watson, who had the angle perfectly. He took it in his breadbasket. And we have 2 minutes and 15 seconds left. And now we see the Whitby All-Stars moving up quickly. Whenever Watson, the goaltender, has that ball, he throws it down the floor so well. He can explain the 10-second rule now. Here's a chance for Wayne Grant right in alone. Fake, and he scores! What a great fake on the initial one. And then he beats Rob Watson, and it's a 5-1 lead and a power play goal for the Whitby All-Stars.
Coach Larry Kernahan from Whitby Peterborough has come up with a good system. He's keeping the Peterborough players together as well as the Whitby players, and they're playing as a unit. They can move the ball well. You see Grant going in, one fake over the shoulder and into the net.
I'd like to explain that 10-second rule. Whenever a team is short-handed, they have 10 seconds to move the ball into the other side of the floor, and in doing so, it of course speeds up the game and does not allow a team just to pass the ball around in their own defensive zone. And in addition to, of course, the 30-second shot clock, it makes lacrosse one of the most exciting sports there is in 2 feet. Here's a chance again. Righty and number 11 hit the goalpost. I believe the crossbar, actually. Martin was in, and when you're going well, those goalposts and crossbars work well for you.
They do, Gary. McWhirter has played very good lacrosse. He's covering his angles well. A little bit of goalpost is your best friend when you're a goaltender.
Again, the Peterborough-Whitby team represents Zone 6, including Scarborough, Ajax, Toronto Beaches. The Zone 8 team include All-Stars from the Kitchener-Guelph, Brantford, Owen Sound League. And everyone has just been so agreeable and cooperative throughout the course of this tournament and providing us background information and just helping us with pronunciations and numbers and names. And we want to thank especially Brian Henderson and John Swan, the local organizers of lacrosse here, who have done everything they could to help us out. Here's another chance. Good shot there by Dan McComb, blocked by Watson. We're down to 25 seconds left in the opening period. No one would have guessed that the Whitby All-Stars would have a 4-goal lead this late in the first period. We thought it would be a closer game, and indeed we thought Kitchener-Guelph might lead all the way. Howlett now. They'll go for one shot with 10 seconds left. Possession for one shot. Prowse is in. He just put it wide. The rebound. 5 seconds left. Whistle. But, of course, it's a straight-time first period. There's the horn to end the first period of play. And after 20 minutes at the Peterborough Memorial Center in the bronze medal game of the Midget Lacrosse, it's the Whitby All-Stars 5 and the Kitchener-Guelph All-Stars 1. Dave, just a very brief scoring summary.
In the first period, Gary, Peterborough-Whitby, I should say Peterborough-Whitby in this case because they've played very well. They've been in on all the scoring. Wayne Grant from Doug Hill made it 1-0 at the 26-second mark. Sean Mowry and Larry Downer also scoring from the Whitby Peterborough team. 4-0 after one, 5-1 after our first period of play.
So on behalf of our statistician Brian Sage and color commentator Dave Dyer, this is Gary Hahn from the Peterborough Memorial Center.
Thank you very much, Gary. Exciting bronze medal action in lacrosse going on at the Peterborough Memorial Centre. The big gold medal game with Brampton and Hamilton gets underway at 1:30 this afternoon. We're looking forward to seeing some of that action and see who goes home with the gold in lacrosse competition. Our scoring expert, Elaine, is here again, and she's going to update us on another medal winner.
Yes, again, it's a bronze medal winner in women's field hockey. Toronto has taken the bronze in women's field hockey with a score of 1-0 over Peterborough. The gold medal game will be played around noon, so they're just getting started, or they've just gotten started. Kitchener versus Oakville in that gold medal game. So we'll have some results for you in women's field hockey. But Toronto has taken the bronze, so congratulations.
For those of you just joining us, you are watching live television coverage provided by Maclean Hunter Cable TV, right here on TVOntario. We were here yesterday, we're here till 5 o'clock today, and we are having a lot of fun providing you with the coverage of the 1986 Ontario Summer Games. And to give you a little idea about what is involved in our television coverage and how it all came about, Joan Reed Olsen has this report for us.
Thanks, Doug. Hi there. Hi. There are lots of things going on here during the Ontario Summer Games, but more things than you possibly realize. You're sitting at home watching what's happening. There are technical things that are a mystery to me. So what we've done, we've talked to the executive director of Maclean Hunter, and he probably will tell you exactly how everybody is able to see what's happening on your television at home.
We have 6 live mobile locations, and these mobile facilities come from all over Ontario, locations ranging from Thunder Bay to North Bay, Owen Sound, etc. These are all our Ontario systems converging in Peterborough this weekend for coverage of the 1986 Summer Games. And 6 of those units are set up in different locations throughout Peterborough, providing live, up-to-the-minute action from 6 of the venues. The rest of the 9 sports are being covered by our field crews, and we have 7 field crews running throughout Peterborough covering every sport during the Summer Games.
Well, you have live coverage, and how does it come together out of your van, out of the master control?
The master control basically is a central location where all our live location feeds are arriving, as well as all our field crew reports are arriving. So basically, we have a relatively easy job compared to everybody else. We're just sorting all the signals and reports coming in, and we decide in the master control which event goes on at what time. A lot of our emphasis will be on the live sports, obviously, because of the live aspect. But because we have our 7 field crews out in the field, we will be bringing up-to-date reports from those events as well.
Can you give me an idea of the number of people involved, and the technical people and the expertise they have involved in this project?
There are over 40 Maclean Hunter staff from our Ontario systems involved in the actual production, as well as approximately 55 television volunteers from the Peterborough area. So you're looking at roughly 100 production and technical staff involved in covering the 1986 Summer Games. Basically what we've done this time around with our coverage is we've delegated responsibilities to individuals, so that if there's a technical problem, there's one person responsible for handling all the technical problems. And if anybody phones into master control that they have a technical problem, we know who to turn to. If it's a production question, that is my responsibility, and that is a question that I will have to answer. If it is a personnel problem, Barb Irwin from our Peterborough system will look after personnel problems. It could be anything from they need a lunch, or they need a certain piece of equipment. So we have dedicated responsibilities for specific people, and they are responsible for it. And it really makes it a lot easier. Obviously, when you have 100 people running around Peterborough, it's difficult for one person to be in charge of everything. So we have people specifically responsible for different areas, and that makes it much, much easier for everybody. I've mentioned basically the production people in the Peterborough area, there are a lot of other people involved in getting this signal to the viewers in the homes throughout Ontario. We're looking at obviously Bell Telephone and the microwave equipment and Telesat sending our signal up so that TVOntario can pick up this signal. So it's not just a group of us in Peterborough originating this production. There are a lot of people. It is a team effort. And there's no doubt about it, I'm not responsible for the way this whole production is going to be carried out. It is a team effort, and that's the way we look at it. Everybody pulls his or her weight, and the production comes off.
Well, I hope you understand how this is all coming to you. I'm Joan Reed Olsen for the Ontario Summer Games at Peterborough, Ontario.
Well, thank you very much. That was very interesting indeed. We have a number of people here in Peterborough. We're having a good time, but working very hard and hopefully providing you with some good sports entertainment this weekend at the 1986 Ontario Summer Games. The games began this past Thursday. Some sports, a couple of them at least, began competition then because of the many teams involved, and they wanted to get the playdowns underway. Friday, some more athletes arrived and some of the sports began again, but the big action has been yesterday and particularly today as they wind up competition. The gold medal games in all the sports are underway just about now, so we'll do our best to try to take you around to the various locations and have a look at what's happening. Right now, cycling is our subject at hand. We're going to look at the 100-kilometer road race. This is action from yesterday, and we're going to have a report now from Alan Simmons.
80-kilometer cycle road race kicked off this morning at Trent University's Otonabee College. Led by a City of Peterborough motorcycle police officer, the riders formed up in the neutral zone and then began the actual race at the turn onto Canal Road. Riders from across the province competed in this event, and they'll do 8 turns of the track. The men, the junior men, ranging in age from 15 to 19, competed in yesterday's time trials. And Matt Very of Ramsey Cycle had the best time of 59 minutes and 46 seconds. But there are other teams competing today who were not involved in the event yesterday. Toronto Italia Cycle Club and Miel Cycle Club, also from Toronto. The ladies also formed up and began their event 5 minutes after the junior men had taken off from just outside Trent University. The top female racer in Canada, Kellyanne Way of Bloor Cycles, had a time of 1 hour, 1 minute and 57 seconds in yesterday's time trials. Kellyanne has competed at the Tour de France and most recently in the United States, and she's the rider to watch as these ladies will go for 80 kilometers at the cycle event at the Ontario Summer Games. They'll run 6 times on this course for a total of 80 kilometers. Small problem right on the startup, but both riders seem to be all right. Some minor adjustments being made in the bicycle there of number 70, just making sure that it's all right. Tough break on the starting whistle for the ladies, who again will compete in 80 kilometers. They'll do 6 turns of this race course, which covers some of the toughest terrain in the city of Peterborough and area. One of the toughest portions of this 12.5-kilometer course is this turn at the corner of Armour Road and Hunter Streets in the heart of the city of Peterborough. The riders come up the Hunter Street Hill from the Peterborough lift lock and then have to make a tight right turn and downhill on Armour Road. On the 7th lap of this 8-lap men's 100-kilometer cycle road race, you can tell that the pace is slowing just a little bit. They have about a lap and a half to go, making the turn onto Television Road and speeding up as they make this turn, recognizing that they have about 17 kilometers left to go in the 100-kilometer race. And quite a sight as they make that turn and head out Television Road towards the lift lock. Almost 100 of Ontario's top junior cyclists have been riding for 99 kilometers. They're in the last kilometer of a spectacular race which has seen some interesting action on all areas of the course. 99 kilometers, and they're in the last few seconds of this fantastic race of junior men Crossing the finish line first, number 65, followed by number 74, and in third spot, number 62. And we'll grab the leader of this event for a few words as soon as we have the opportunity. Watch this pack cross this finish line. Look at them go. What a fantastic finish to the 100-kilometer road race. Marilyn Wells, winner of the ladies event at the road race today, and just a tremendous ride. Marilyn, how do you feel?
I feel real good now.
Tell me, what was the toughest part of this course?
Well, it was a good course to get away. It was the rollingness and the distance made you tired. The difficult one probably was not suspected as a difficult part for somebody else, but for me personally, it was just after the gravel part, and there was a slight incline, and you didn't have the speed to pick yourself up after the mud part, and you were sort of bogged down from the sponginess of the mud to keep going up that incline. That was the toughest part for me.
In an 80-kilometer race, which you're racing for a long time, I know the average lap time was somewhere around 21, 22 minutes per lap and 6 laps. Is there a strategy that you have to employ in terms of saving your energy, or where is the big push?
Well, if you save your energy, you're not going to break up the race. If you want to break up the race and you want to get the top riders, the strongest rider, to the front right away, it's going to be tough. Once you get that little group that we had going of Kellyanne Way, Laura Reptash, and myself, is just keeping it steady, relax, breathe easy, and just keep it rolling and wait till the sprint finish. So you want to keep it rolling so you don't get gobbled up by anybody that's coming up behind, but you want to just keep it rolling and smooth and keep your energy consistent that way, and then wait for the sprint.
When you say the sprint, what portion of the race is that? What is it, the last few kilometers, the last kilometer?
No, last 200-300 meters.
And that's where you won it, isn't it? You came just from slightly behind, I think.
Well, what I did just before the start, no one knew where the start finish was, and that's very important. And what I did just before the start, I went to the start finish and I paced back 200 meters. If you blast away from 200 meters, 9 out of 10 times, if you got the sprint, you're going to win it. If you start your sprint 300 meters, all you have to do is get on that person's wheel who's a little bit anxious, might think she's strong, sit on them, bang at 200 meters, take off, and if you got a good sprint, you got it. And I knew where to go at a certain point, at a certain sign, and I got it.
And you did very well too, Marilyn. I know you're going to Tour de France, and you're looking at the Olympics. Which of those two is your favorite? What are you looking forward to more? The Tour again next year, or the Olympics in a couple of years?
Well, I'd like to go to the Tour de France next year in 1987. 1988 would be a very good point for me. I would like to make the Olympic team. I've done the Tour in 1984, and I would really like to do it again. They're two different events, 3 weeks of stage racing compared to one event in one day. And the Olympics is a good public spectacle type of race. The Tour de France is the ultimate for a cyclist, and both of them are up there in the prestigious races, though.
Marilyn, we wish you every success in those races, and thanks very much for taking time to talk to us. Marilyn Wells, and we also had a chance to talk with the men's winner earlier. Mike Sagat, quite a race. I guess you're pleased with your performances today.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me about the heat. Is that a real factor for you?
No, the heat didn't really bother me. It was just that the hills are a little bit hard for me.
What was the toughest part of the course?
The hills for me, and the first part, as soon as after the finish line here.
When you came under the lift lock, up and out of the lift lock, there's a tough, steep climb there and then a tight right turn. Was that creating problems in the early laps?
No, because everybody started sprinting at the top, but then they weren't going anywhere, so took it at my pace, and we just stopped after. The group didn't take off after that. It was okay.
Is there a strategy in a race like this that's 100 kilometers in weather that's fairly warm?
Team. You need a good team for these races, right? But sometimes when there's another guy breaking away and another team, and they're blocking, they got a lot of riders, they're blocking the group. Anybody can go, even if you're by yourself.
You want to get in a little plug for the folks back home here? You're from where?
Toronto.
Hey, and you're sponsored by?
Primo. It's Spaghetti Factory, pasta.
Okay, we'll slide in a little plug for Mike Sagat and the gang from Primo. Mike Sagat, the winner of the 1986 Junior Men's 100-kilometer road race. From the 100-kilometer road race at Trent University, I'm Alan Simmons.
Thank you very much, Alan. I thought actually we were going to see some tire tracks on your back when you were standing on the street there. That was some pretty exciting cycling action. And talking about exciting action, skiing, water skiing that is, the snow has melted, so we are going to have water skiing. Boys trick skiing is going on at this moment at Little Lake. Greg Mather is standing by. I don't know if he's on the skis or not, but we'll see what tricks he has for us.
Hi, we're back at water skiing. Things look like they're clearing up a bit. We're having a super day. I'll just give an update on the latest event, juvenile boys trick skiing. The results in that are first, Ryan Bush from Toronto with a trick skiing total of 3,360 points. Matthew Reaney in second from Kingston with a point total of 2,600. And Douglas Ross from Belleville in third place with a point total of 1,960 points. We're just finishing off the veteran men's trick skiing competition and about to go into the boys trick skiing competition. I have with me right now Ryan Bush, and as you just heard, Ryan was the person who won the juvenile boys trick skiing. But Ryan has a number of other accomplishments that we'll just talk about. Ryan's 9 years old, and he competes in the juvenile boys juvenile boys ski competition, which is for boys 13 and under generally. He holds the world trick record for people under 7 years old. He's provincial juvenile trick skiing champion and a national trick skiing champion. How are you, Ryan?
Good. Thank you.
Maybe you can tell us, Ryan, some of the things you do to train for, well, trick skiing and skiing in general, the things that keep you in shape. At 9 years old, you must have, you'll have to do a number of things to keep fit and to be able to ski this well.
Well, usually I'm in bed at 8 o'clock, then I do one slalom set before breakfast, then we have breakfast, then I slalom, and then I trick, and then I have lunch, and after lunch I trick again, and then I jump.
So you spend most of your day skiing, do you?
Yeah.
Now your dad owns a ski club, does he not, or a ski facility, and so that kind of helps out, does it not?
Yeah, it really is a big help.
What's your favorite event, Ryan? Obviously you're very good in the trick skiing, but you compete in the other two events as well.
Well, actually, tricking is my favorite event.
How long have you been competing, Ryan?
I've been competing since I was 5.
And is this your best standing now, or how would this year compare with other years? How are things going for you in general?
Well, this year is a little bit better, but this tournament, it wasn't my personal best.
Yes. And is there any reason for that, Ryan? Like, how does this tournament compare with other tournaments you go to through the year?
Well, the conditions I'm not used to, really, and because I'm on a private lake and no other boats, and there's not used to rough water.
I'm just going to bring in now Dr. John Pepper, and John is the opposite from Ryan. John is the oldest competitor, and we don't mean to say, I guess, John, you're certainly not old, but Ryan, at 9 years old, how old are you?
Well, first of all, I'm very envious of Ryan. I'd like to be able to trick as well as he could, and I'm not dodging the question. I'm 44 years old.
Yeah, certainly not very old at all. Maybe you can tell me, John, we spoke a little bit before, the difference between the training that you might have to go through as compared to somebody like Ryan who's younger, perhaps a little more flexible.
Yes, I think stretching is very, very important. I feel that it's an absolute must at my age to stretch before every event and within 15 minutes before the event, and to warm up and to psychologically be loose, not tight. So there's a lot of mental preparation as well as physical preparation.
How are events going for you today, John? I know that although we haven't had the final results of the veteran men's trick skiing competition, I know you're in contention for the lead there.
Well, I hope I have won. I'm not sure. It's going to be tight. I think Peter Heenan was fairly close, but Unfortunately, I did not complete my second pass. I did ski out of the pass standing up, but I had a bobble in the middle and it slowed me down a bit, so I couldn't get all my tricks in.
You mentioned to me a bit about the training facilities that you use. Maybe you can elaborate on that a bit.
Yes, as far as training on the water, we have a facility up in Muskoka, a lake, and a group of us train there, about 10 of us, and we have a sort of a shared cost facility where we train, and we train on the 3 events, jumping, slalom, and tricks. And in the off-season, we find it very important, particularly in Canada where we can't ski year-round, that we do a lot of running, bicycling, rowing, weight training, all sorts of well-rounded physical activity to keep ourselves strong both aerobically and skeletal muscularly.
I see somebody coming by here now skiing. Maybe you can just give us a bit of commentary, John, on the tricks that this young fellow's doing as he goes by.
Certainly, I'd be happy to. This is Kevin Marcellison. Kevin was down in Florida with us training a couple of years ago, and he's a very accomplished young boy skier, and he's really improved this year. His consistency is just tremendous, and that's because he's had more on-the-water training. I believe Kevin's been skiing every day this summer.
And what kind of a run did he just have, John?
He had a very good single ski trick pass. That was his hand pass, and he probably will be returning with a toe pass. That is to say, his foot in the toe strap and doing various tricks with his foot in the toe strap.
Obviously, it must be a great deal more difficult to do the pass with your foot in the strap. I'm not all that conversant with it, but I'm sure it must be much tougher. What's involved in something like that?
Well, I think the balance obviously is more difficult. You have to be very careful to keep your ski leg bent, and your toe leg controls your rate of turn and degree of turn, so that you have to coordinate both of these as well as maintaining your balance. The other very, very important factor is your pin man in the boat. This man will release you if you get into a precarious position where you're going to fall, because it's very easy to tear an ankle or a knee ligament if you fall and you're dragged in the water with your foot still in the toe strap.
We see Kevin's down in the water right now. Maybe you can just tell us why that is. I know there's a specific reason why they wait for his second pass.
With this site and the shape of the shoreline, we get reflected waves back, and to give Kevin as good a chance as possible of skiing through his second pass, we want to wait until the waves clear. And we can see out in front of us now the waves coming through, and there are judges at the far end, and they will give the all-clear signal when the waves have passed, and then Kevin will come in and do his second pass.
How many events would you go to throughout the course of a summer, John? The number of tournaments or the number of events that you would go to?
We would probably go to somewhere in the neighborhood of 6 to 8 competitions per summer.
And is that a usual number? I know you said to me earlier that it's a very demanding sport. By the end of the season, you're battered and bruised. It takes a bunch out of you?
It certainly does. I find as an old man, I'm hurting most of the time.
It might be a little easier for Ryan to recover from that kind of a schedule. Would the juvenile boys keep the same kind of a schedule as you would?
Yes, they would ski more than I would. Unfortunately, I can't ski every day. I would love to be in the position to be able to, but the juvenile boys, most of them are able to ski every day all summer.
You mentioned that Kevin was with you in Florida training. Do a majority of the skiers who are trying to ski at a high level have to go to Florida to get enough training to be competitive?
Yes, they do. Nowadays, the level of competition is so high that you do need the extra training in Florida, preferably just prior to the summer season up here. And some of us have to train a little ahead of that, i.e. the March break. But it is very, very helpful to get that extra training in Florida and get the viewpoints and the coaching of different coaches. I really firmly believe it's important to get well-rounded coaching. It's very easy to get into a narrow situation where you can't progress because you're not getting the coaching from different angles.
So what, I guess that leads into a question. What kind of coaching is available in Canada right now? Is Canada progressive as far as water skiing is concerned? And, is that why people have to go to the United States to get appropriate coaching?
I think we have excellent coaches in Canada, and we have a national coaching program. I have a level 2 now. We are developing this program to a level 3, 4, and 5, level 5 being an international coach level. We do have excellent coaches. It's more the lack of on-water time in Canada because of obviously the winter months. But I think the level of coaching in Canada is excellent.
Super. I see Kevin is just about to start another run here, so maybe we can just take a look and you can comment as Kevin comes down on the different tricks that he's doing.
Certainly, I'd be happy to. Kevin's approaching the course in a toe position. He's outside the boat wake, and he's just doing his final adjustment on the boat speed. And you notice he's passing 2 red buoys. As he passes, he starts this run, and he did what we call a toe wake-o, a toe back, toe front, toe wake back, toe wake front, toe slide, and a reverse toe slide. Kevin's skiing very well, very smooth. Line back, a line front, wake line back, fall. Oh, that was an unfortunate fall for Kevin, but he skied very, very smoothly up until that point. He was very solid.
The fall right at the end, which comes right at the end of his 20 seconds, we heard the horn just as he went down into the water. How does that affect him? Does the fall make him lose points? Because he made his 20 seconds, does he get all the points that he would, or how does that affect him?
He would lose points for that last trick because he fell as a result of it, and it just fell on the horn, so he won't lose that many points. He had a very high point run there.
Super. Maybe you can just describe, you as Kevin was coming down, you mentioned a number of different maneuvers he was making as he went along. Maybe you can just describe a couple of them, the different things that you were talking about as Kevin came down.
Certainly. Well, we have a jargon, as they do in many sports. Kevin started with what we call a toe wake-o, and that means that his foot was wrapped in the toe strap, and as he crossed the wake, he jumped into the air and turned 360 degrees and landed frontwards. That was his very first trick. The other tricks, most of them were on the surface, what we call toe backs and toe fronts. That is, he turns backwards with his foot in the toe strap and then frontwards. And toe slides, that's a 90-degree slide with the foot in the toe strap. So it's a series of turns or maneuvers with the foot in the toe strap. And then towards the end, he was doing what we call line tricks, where he stepped over the line with his free leg. And you notice that all these tricks, of course, were done with one ski. So they're higher pointed tricks.
Now maybe we can just talk briefly. We're just about to wrap up, I think, John. I want to thank you very much, John Pepper, for being with us today. I want to also thank Ryan Bush for being with us. We're at water skiing at Little Lake in Prairie Park.
Okay, thank you very much. An exciting trick water skiing going down at Little Lake. Greg Mather didn't do what we asked. I wanted him on the skis for that report and have the boat tow him around, but we'll have to get him to do that next time. You are watching live television coverage of the 86 Ontario Summer Games, provided for you, the residents of Ontario, by Maclean Hunter Cable Television. We're glad to be here. We hope very much you enjoy our coverage.
Some quick results from this morning and some exciting action that we were able to show you live in girls basketball. You will remember that the gold medal was taken by Niagara St. Catharines, a score of 9-6, 7-6, and that was quite an upset. They defeated Burlington, who was previously undefeated, but Burlington took the silver. In the bronze was Sarnia. They won by 2 points over Ottawa and Kingston. In baseball, a gold medal game is being played today. We haven't had any results in yet, but Barrie was defeated by Streetsville, score of 8-6 for the silver medal game. And some results to look at from the cycling this morning. We'll take a look at our, well, I'm afraid we don't have those cycling results. We'll be going back to some live action soon.
Okay, thank you very much, Elaine. Lawn bowling is another one of the sports here in the Ontario Summer Games, and competing in lawn bowling, 21 and under, that's years of age, of course, male and female. Ken Armstrong is our man at the scene at the Peterborough Lawn Bowling Club. Let's go to Ken for an update on lawn bowling.
I'm with Bob Maclean at the Lawn Bowling Club, and Bob is from Sarnia, representing the chairmanship of the Junior Championships. Bob, has this been a big organizational problem?
Not a big one, but one that we're very pleased to have been involved in.
Where are some of the areas represented?
Well, starting with Sarnia, we have a bowler from Sarnia. We have some from London, Hagersville, Caradoc, and Oshawa.
And have you noticed in terms of the level of competition here, obviously the skill factor goes up when you have an Ontario Championship. Have you noticed that development?
Yes, we're very, very pleased with the caliber of bowlers that we're getting into this championship.
Now, you have had an Ontario Championship representative.
We've had Ontario Championships since 1981. 1980 at the Summer Games here in Peterborough was the first provincial competition we had, and now we've expanded on it and had one each year since in our own.
And what is the age level of these young people, Bob?
The maximum age is 21. If they're 21 in this calendar year, they're eligible to bowl. And I believe we have some here at 10 and 11 today as well.
Now, is there a possibility once they win this sector, they're able to go to Canadian Championships?
Not from winning this sector or from this particular event, but certain bowlers win points for various activities, and certainly bowlers that aspire to the national team could use this as a collection of events that they've taken part in and have done well in.
Well, Bob, continued success in the junior program, and we wish you every luck in the future. I have with me Kevin Jones from London, Ontario, who is here in a dual capacity. He's the 1985 Canadian National Junior Champion, as well as the coach of Southwestern Ontario. Kevin, it's great to have you with us.
Oh, it's nice to be here.
Now, what's it like to be a champion?
It's sort of nice, you know, to have everybody know that, you know, you've won something really important, you know. It's sort of hard to, you know, everybody expects a lot of you, you know.
What do they expect, Kevin?
Well, they expect, you know, a Canadian that was a men's champion. They expect you to bowl good all the time, expect your attitude to be great, and, you know, they keep their eye on you when, you know, you're that good, I guess.
Now, what route do you take to arrive at the championship?
First, you bowl in your area, which is called the district, and there's any number of teams in that. The winner of that goes to the zone, which is a bigger district. Ontario is divided into 16 districts, so if you win your first district, then you go to the zone, which is the 4 districts. Then from that, the 4 zone winners go to the Ontario Championships, and the winner from that goes to the Canadian Championships, and every province sends a champion, and they all play a round robin, which means you play everybody once, and whoever comes up with the most wins from that gets gold, silver, or bronze.
Right. Now, as the coach of the Southwestern Ontario team, where are your team members from, and who are they?
Well, my team's from all in the zone. The triples are Mike Townsend, Paul Dewar, and Jamie Fenn. Paul and Mike are from London. Jamie's from St. Mary's. The doubles are Ken Mackin and Jamie Taylor. Ken's from Sarnia, Jamie's from London. And the singles is Jamie McClellan from St. Mary's.
Well, Kevin, it's great to have you at the Ontario Summer Games. Best of luck in the future, and I hope your team wins.
Well, I hope they do too.
Well, the pace has been fast and furious here for the past 2 days, and we will look forward to continued activity later on this afternoon. So stay tuned, and we'll bring you the latest update as soon as we can.
The 1986 Ontario Summer Games.